Hi, Brent Johnson with NJ Advanced Media, the Star Ledger, and NJ.com, here at the Eagleton Institute of Politics at Rutgers University in New Brunswick. We're here to talk to the third-party and independent candidates in the governor's race. People from New Jersey, residents of New Jersey, voters will head to the polls November 7th to pick a successor for Governor Chris Christie. Many people know there's always a Republican and a Democrat running, but there are also 5 third-party and independent candidates running. And polls show that not everybody seems to be happy with the 2 major party candidates, so we wanted to give voters a chance to hear from the other contenders in the race. We're going to start with Gina Genovese, who is an independent candidate running.
Thank you, Brent.
Thank you for being here. Gina, a little bit about yourself and why you're running for governor.
Well, I'm running for governor this year because it started about 12 years ago, my journey, where I ran for local office, and on the second try, I actually won. And a couple years later, I became mayor of my town, Long Hill Township in Morris County. And you learn right away what a budget is, what you're delivering services. I'm also a small business owner, so it was a big fascination for me and of interest. And you also get the number one question from everybody, which is, what are you going to do about my property taxes? Mm-hmm. And this was in 2006, before the big crash, and people were still somewhat concerned about it. And I just looked around and I found this 120-year-old idea about municipal consolidation and school regionalization that has been floated around New Jersey for 120 years. And I said, well, who's going to tell the public? Who's going to be a resource? How are we going to make inroads on this rather than just talk about it? So I saw the problem, and then I wanted to implement a solution. And so in 2009, I founded and serve as executive director of a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization called Courage to Connect New Jersey. And what I have done and my organization has done for the past 8 years is work around the state, probably in 60, 70 communities, working on consolidation, school regionalization, fire district consolidation, as well as county level services to try to address our high property taxes. I was tremendously successful. We had the Princetons consolidate. It's very successful. We worked with South Hunterdon School Regional, which went from 4 school districts down to 1. And the thing, Brent, is that they not only save money, but they increase services. They make them better. So this seems like a win-win, right? Especially now when we're talking about funding and keep funding this or cutting services. Here's a way to reduce the cost of property taxes rather than finding a way to fund them, and to also make the services better. But I did learn one thing. If we don't have state support, nothing will change in New Jersey. And that's why I felt a little frustrated. And I said, my journey has taken me here. And I have this acumen. And I understand that there's leaders out in New Jersey that want to make changes. I've worked with them, taxpayers, elected officials, and they need a leader. And so I'm really running because this is the formula for change in New Jersey.
So my next question was, what is the biggest issue facing New Jersey, and what are you going to do about it? So would you say property taxes, and what is your plan? Or is there something else?
Well, there's a few things that you read statistics and you read them, you blur over, and then there's some that hit you. And I'll just share with you a couple. The entire country pays $300 billion in property taxes, and New Jersey is nearing $30 billion. That's 10% of the entire country. That's staggering. And so if there's any elected official, if there's anyone in New Jersey that says we cannot address this issue, they shouldn't be elected. And then one more really hit me. I was speaking in Gloucester Township as executive director of Courage to Connect New Jersey, and this gentleman got up and he said, 10 years ago, I worked 4 weeks to pay my property taxes, and now I work 10 weeks. 10 weeks just to pay your property taxes. So our organization did a survey monkey, and it came up that 54% of the people said it takes 2 to 3 months. What are we doing to our residents? And there's one other thing, Brent, too, that we have to be mindful of. The state budget, 44% of the state budget goes back to fund local governments and schools. This is a huge issue. So on the micro level and on the macro level, we need to face this issue and we need to address it. And we have had the first steps in New Jersey. We just need a governor that's a leader to really work on this issue. And that's why I believe it's very easy to reduce property taxes by 15% in 4 years, not look at ways to fund it.
Any other issues that are important to you that you want to focus on or stress?
Well, we have environmental issues that we've been neglecting for the last 8 years. There's another very important issue, which is pensions. It's not an easy issue to talk about. It's not glamorous, and people have to realize that it could take us to our knees. It's really a serious, serious issue that needs to be addressed, not just by funding it, but reining in some of the corruption around it, some of the double dipping, some of the ways that we say we're going to fund your pension. In other words, instead of saying the last 2 or 3 years, we really should say it's an aggregate of your lifetime salary, which is how most pensions are, and try to make quite a few reforms and also fund it. But everyone is going to have to get hurt when we address this issue, and it's looming. And I just hope that New Jersey doesn't do what it just did, like the transportation fund, which is wait till the last day before they react. The inaction has to stop, and we have to start being proactive about it.
And one thing you hear whenever you talk about third-party or independent candidates is people say, well, how do you expect to gain traction in a system where Republicans and Democrats have control and are the most, the most vocal and the most visible? So what separates you from the major party candidates, and how do you expect to path to victory?
There's a few things. Actually, I was born in New Jersey, so that separates me. I'm a small business owner. That separates me. I've been executive director of a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization working for 8 years around New Jersey. That separates me. And I've been a local elected official. That's huge. I am the only local elected official in this race. And the way we fund and the way we deliver services at the local level is huge. And I also know how schools work. So I'm bringing that expertise, and I think it's noteworthy.
And I want to give you the final words. Anything you want to say to close out?
I just really love New Jersey, and as you said in the beginning, a lot of people are disappointed in the 2 major party candidates, and that's exactly why I'm running. I'm running for the heart and the soul of New Jersey, and I just hope that my message resonates with them because I believe in them, and I hope that they believe in me.
The question was, do you believe you can win?
Do you believe I can win? I'm an athlete. I used to play professional tennis. You can be down 6-0, 5-0 and still win. Do I believe I can win? Absolutely. Do I think it's realistic? No. But I am trying to get to the people, the 54% that are working 2 to 3 months. That's the largest voting bloc in New Jersey. They're the largest lobbying group. And if I could excite and ignite their power, then yes, I could win. And in order to do that, I'm not only just speaking it, I am sponsoring a rally at the State House this Sunday between 1 and 3 to demand lower property taxes, right at the State House. And this isn't about me and my ego or me and running for governor. This is about the future of New Jersey, because we have to spark something. We have to start something. And the reason why I'm doing it is because we have to send a message and hold the next governor accountable and all the legislature that they have to stop, they have to listen and look at their constituents and what they're doing to the residents, and they have to make the changes. And that's what I'm starting on Sunday. And that's beyond me and running for governor.
Anyone else? John.
Yes.
A question that could go to any third-party candidate, I guess, but in 2016 and in 2000, third-party candidates received more votes than the difference between the Democrat and the Republican. So many people believe that George W. Bush in 2000 and Donald Trump in 2016 were elected in part because of the presence of third-party candidates. Does that worry you at all in this race? Do you think that's an accurate portrayal of what happened then?
I hope I make a difference in this race, but anyway, that is a good question. The past week, I've had Republicans tell me that I need to bow out and work on her campaign, otherwise Phil Murphy's going to win, and I've had Democrats say, just bow out of the campaign. So the pressure's there. I have run as a Democrat for state senate and for my local office. I know what it is to be inside of a party. And I can clearly say that we cannot reform these 2 parties from within. And my belief is that we do need a strong third party to emerge, especially with social media, to make sure that they start becoming accountable to their constituents and to their party people. It's very difficult to reform them from within, especially now. We're so polarized. So to answer your question, I hope that I do well, and then maybe in 4 years, an independent, or maybe I win this year.
Again, Election Day is November 7th. Thank you to Gina Genovese for joining us, and thank you for watching NJ.com.